Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this county rivalry matchup between Lady Oaks and the Wellston Lady Golden Rockets. And we're about ready to start this game here. Lady Oaks are got a combined team of JV and varsity now since we've lost some players. Bridget Odell, she left and went back to her home school that she came from, and Becky Phillips is sick tonight and won't be playing. And we got Maynard against Leach out there, and the ball's first possession goes to Wellston. Robinette with the ball, she comes across half court, picked up there by Spurlock. Over to Henneman, Ruth on Henneman. Over to Martin underneath the Leach. She misses a rebound, Maynard. And they get it for a travel. Turnover, Oak Hill. Hope this is not a sign of how things are going to be tonight. And to Leach. Over to Crabtree. Back out to Robinette. And over to Leach. Leach out to Robinette from three. Misses off the rim. Picked up by Henneman off the rim. Spurlock with the rebound. Over to Morgan. Lady Oaks with their first possession with almost a minute off the clock. Morgan crossed the timeline to Ruth. Ruth over to Maynard, to Gillen. Back out to Morgan. Over to Ruth. Ruth puts it back out to Morgan. Over to Maynard, over to Gillen. She brings it underneath, steps out, back out to Morgan. From three. Off the rim, picked up by Henneman. Henneman to Robinette. Robinette picked up at half court by Spurlock and brought around. Ruth with her hand on, not enough. Over to Leach underneath, knocked away by Gillen, picked up by Maynard. And in the hands of Morgan. With over a minute gone, almost 2 minutes gone, nobody scored yet. Ruth with the ball. Takes it to the side, stops, brings it back out to Morgan. From three again. In and out. Picked up by Robinette. It's knocked away by Ruth. Wellston's ball on the knockaway. Lady Oaks with good defense here tonight. Ball's into Robinette. In the middle to Henneman. Back out to Leach. Into Henneman. She stops. She pops it. Nothing. Picked up by off the hands of Spurlock into Morgan's hands on the rebound. Oak Hill back down the floor. Down to Quick. And Ruth from three-point land. Off. And the knocked out bounce by Oak Hill, I believe. Yep. Knocked out by Gillen. Wellston's ball. Sharp in. Gillen out. Ball's in the middle to Crabtree, and back out to Robinette. Over to Leach, picked up by Sharp, to Ruth, to Morgan underneath. She lays it in, off the rim. Robinette with the ball on the rebound from Leach. Still with 3 minutes gone, no score. Henneman with the ball. Underneath to Leach. Leach puts it in. First score at 5:14. Morgan brings the ball down to Sharp. Sharp back out to Morgan. Morgan brings it over to Ruth. Ruth takes it around. And a foul's called on Crabtree from Wellston. Lady Oaks ball out under their own bucket. In to Maynard, over to Ruth, slapped away. Ruth chases it down. Brings it back across half court, over to Sharp. Sharp underneath to Maynard, she turns, and they get her for the travel. Wellston up, 2-0. Robinette with the ball. Dishes out to Leach, and she walked, and they didn't call it. Over to Crabtree, and she walked. Oak Hill's ball on the turnover. 4:26 to go in this first period of play. Across the floor to Morgan. Morgan crosses half court. And Sharp with the ball. Takes it to the corner. Rolls it back out to Morgan. Over to Spurlock in the middle. Knocked out of her hands, picked up by Crabtree. To Robinette. She takes it to the middle. And it's off the rim. She puts it back up off the rim. And there's a foul in there on 52. Should be on Henneman, I believe. Her first, team second. Two points scored here in the last 4 minutes of this ball game. Wellston with the lead, 2-0. Over to Sharp. Sharp back out to Morgan. Back to Sharp. Sharp shoots it. Dumps it in. She gets a 2. Tie ball game at 3:43. And a steal by Sharp. And she loses it. We're taking it to the bucket. Tie ball game here at 3:35 to go. Into Robinette. Robinette over to Leach. Leach back to Robinette. And over to Frisbee. Across the floor to Leach to Robinette. Over to Crabtree from three-point land. And foul called on Wellston. Bucket doesn't count from three-point land. He's calling the shot good. And Crabtree with a 3 there. The whistle blown. Foul on Henneman. Now what's going on? Sub coming in. Henneman second, team third. 5-2. Morgan bringing the ball down the floor. Crosses half court. Over to Ruth. Brings it around top of the key. Back out to Morgan. Morgan takes it underneath. Brings it back out to Ruth. She lays it in and out. Rebound Crabtree. Dished off to Robinette. Robinette taking it down. And still a knock away by Ruth. It's anybody's ball. And Spurlock. And it's a jump ball. Should be Oak Hill's ball. Yes, it is. Oak Hill's ball. Knock away by Ruth, and ball rolled clear of the foul line, and 4 was piled on by Oak Hill and Wellston players. Jump ball called, Oak Hill's ball. Into Maynard. Over to Ruth. To Morgan on the corner. To Sharp. Out to Morgan. Over to Sharp. She brings it underneath. She puts it up. She's fouled by Leach, I believe. Sharp will go to the line to shoot too. Foul, that's their fourth team foul. 2:26 here to go. And Sharp will be shooting too. First one goes in and out. Our second one's ready to go. In. 5-3 now. Robinette with the ball, and she walks. Oak Hill's ball on our end of the floor. Into Morgan, over to Spurlock, over to Ruth. And knocked away underneath there by number 12. King, Robinette with the ball. King to Crabtree, to King, to Robinette. Underneath, Robinette. She gets 2. 7-3, 4-point ball game for Wellston. To Ruth. To Morgan. To Ruth. She takes it to the middle. Underneath the Sharp. Sharp gets 2 more. Down to a 2-point ball game now. Crabtree. And a foul on Spurlock. Oak Hill's first, Spurlock's first. Spurlock comes out. Davis goes in. Into King. King to Leach. To Robinette. And blocked by Maynard, and they're calling a foul on Maynard. Robinette will go to the line to shoot 2. Robinette's first shot. No good. Second shot's up and falls good. 8-5, 3-point lead for Wellston. Morgan crosses half court over to Ruth. Ruth takes it to the side. Back out to Morgan from 3 land. No. Robinette with the rebound. Brings it down the floor. And over to King. No. Rebound Maynard. To Davis, to Morgan. Morgan brings it over to Davis from outside. No. Nobody in there rebounding. Crabtree to Robinette. With 34 seconds to go, Wellston up by 3. Frisbee to Robinette. She about lost it and got it back before it crossed the half court. And there she lost it again. Down to 15. 5-second call on Robinette. Lady Oaks ball with 10 seconds to go here in this quarter. Down by 3. Into Morgan. Morgan brings it down to Davis. She pops it from 3 off the rim. And that's the end of the quarter. It's 8-5, Wellston's lead by 3. As we start this second quarter, Wellston's ball on inbounds and throw it away. And a clear giveaway there. And Ruth with no. Davis turns. And she's fouled by King. Oh, no, there's no foul. They're calling a 3-second call against Oak Hill. Huh. Well, now, if that ain't something. King with the ball. Across the floor to Leach, to Robinette, to King, to Frisbee, to Leach, and she travels. Well, we could have walked from here to Wellston with all these travel calls tonight. Morgan crosses half court, gives to Ruth. Ruth gives it over to Davis. Davis puts it up. Gets 2. Oak Hill down by 1. Over to Frisbee, to Robinette. Lady Oaks 7, Wellston 8. King. And there's the throwaway. Picked up by Spurlock. To Ruth, to Morgan. They back it out, wait for everybody to get set. Over to Ruth, to Morgan. Cross to Davis. Another one, in and out. And they're calling Oak Hill out. Crabtree to Frisbee. Back to Crabtree. Over to Robinette. From 3. No. And slap back in there by King into Leach to Robinette. No. Spurlock. And a foul called on Leach. Be her second. Team 5th. 6:21 to go in this second period of play. Lady Oak still down by 1. Over to Davis. Over to Morgan. Takes it to the middle, puts it up. And good for 2. Lady Oaks take the lead first time in this game. 9-8. Up by 1. Robinette with the ball. A long pass to Frisbee to King. King shoots. No. Picked up by Ruth. Ruth to Morgan. Knocked away by King. Travel. Oak Hill's ball. Ruth with the ball. Turns. Over to Morgan from 3. No. Maynard with the putback and 2. Lady Oaks up by 3. Steal by Ruth. Knocked out by Robinette. On the inbounds play, Ruth had to steal. Knocked out of bounds by Robinette. Timeout called by Wellston. Oak Hill's ball under their own bucket. Underneath to Morgan, or to Maynard, and is out of her hands. Well, the inbounds from our end of the floor didn't do us any good. And Frisbee with the shot. No, out of everybody's hands. Over to Robinette. Robinette brings it across. Underneath to Crabtree. She gets 2. Back down to a 1-point game for the Lady Oaks. They're ahead by 1 with 4 minutes. Morgan from 3, no. Leach with the, or Frisbee with the rebound. Over to Robinette. Stopped there by Morgan. Picked up by Davis. And off of Morgan, and she gets a steal. Brings it down. And she palms it, and they call her for the travel. Sharp in the ball game. Morgan out. And a foul called on Davis, I believe. Yeah, foul called on Davis, her first. Team 3rd. Into Leach, back to Crabtree, over to Robinette, thrown away. Trap worked on the far end of the court, created an error on the behalf of Wellston. Into Ruth. Ruth to Davis, from 3, off the rim. Crabtree with the rebound to Robinette. Davis working Robinette. Brings her in. And almost slap away, and there's a foul on the floor against Sharp, I believe. Fouls on Sharp, her first, team 4th. Wellston's ball under their own bucket. And to Leach, to Frisbee, to King, to Leach, or Frisbee to Leach, to Robinette. Underneath to Leach, over to Crabtree, to King, to Robinette, to Frisbee, blocked by Maynard, knocked away, picked up under there, a tie-up between Davis and Frisbee. Oak Hill's ball on the possession arrow. 3 minutes to go in this second period. Lady Oaks up by 1. Davis across to Spurlock, and she puts it up. No. Maynard back into Spurlock's hands. No. Maynard. No. Grabs it. Over to Ruth. Brings it down the middle. Puts it up. She's fouled. Ruth will go to the line to shoot 2. Fouls on Robinette. Her first, team 6th. Ruth on the line to shoot 2. Morgan in, Davis out. Gillen in, Spurlock out. Lady Oaks up by 1 with 3:21 to go in the second period of play. Ruth's first shot's up, off the back of the iron. Second shot's up, and no. And Ruth gets her own rebound, puts it up. Well, she should have been fouled again. Tie up in there. No, they're calling a foul on Ruth this time. Oak Hill's 5th, Ruth's 1st. And Leach. And I was watching what was going on down there, and then anyway, the ball's back in Robinette's hands. Oak Hill about had a steal on the far end of the floor. To Leach, to Robinette, to Frisbee, to Leach, to Crabtree, and Gillen with the rebound. Out to Sharp, to Gillen. No. Robinette with the rebound, running the floor. Kicks it out to Leach. Across the floor to Frisbee, back to Robinette. Over to King, to Leach. And a foul called on Gillen. Leach will go to the line to shoot 2. 16 foul, Gillen's first. Leach on the line to shoot 2. Lady Oaks up by 1. No on the first shot. Nobody's hitting their first shots tonight. Gets her second one. Tie ball game. 11-11. Morgan with the ball. Over to Sharp. Sharp to Morgan. To Ruth. To Morgan. To Sharp. To Morgan. To Ruth. Out to Ruth. To Morgan. To Sharp. And kicked out there, and Ruth picks it up and saves it from over and back. Morgan to Gillen, to Ruth, to Sharp, to Maynard. Kicks it back out to Sharp, to Morgan, to Ruth, to Maynard, or Morgan. Morgan to Ruth, to Gillen. Over to Sharp, to Morgan. She takes it in the middle. She puts it in for 2. Lady Oaks worked that one until they got where they wanted. And Robinette to Leach, to King, no. And a foul on Gillen. Team 7th be a 1-on-1. Leach on the line to shoot the 1 and bonus. Gillen out, Spurlock in. (13 to 11). Lady Oaks up by 2 with 1:05 to go in this second period of play. Leach's first one in and out. Rebound Maynard. Leach is 1 for 3 from the line. Morgan to Ruth. And they get Morgan with the foot drag and a travel. 50 seconds to go here. Lady Oak still up by 2. Into Robinette. Robinette to Frisbee. To Crabtree. To King. Maynard with a hand on it. To Robinette. Clock counting down. Over to Frisbee. To Tribby. She throws it up. Rebound Ruth. To Spurlock. To Morgan. Oak Hill will probably try for the last shot in this quarter and keep their lead. To Ruth. To Morgan. Morgan holds it. Eight. Sharp. To Ruth. To Morgan. From 3. No. Rebound. And let's see who they're calling that one on. Called that one on Maynard for shoving. Her second, team 8. That'll, with 0.7 seconds, we got number 34, Tribby, going to the line to see if she can tie this ball game up at the end of the second period. She gets her first one. She's only wanted to hit her first foul free throw in this first half of the ball game. Second one's up, and it rolls good. Tie ball game. And that's the end of the first half of play. It's 13-13. And we'll be back after halftime with the last 16 minutes of this game. Wellston's balls. We start this second or third quarter. Ball's into Henneman. Henneman back to Robinette. Scores tied 13-all. Spurlock working Robinette. Robinette dishes off underneath and a tie up. Oak Hill's ball. Tie up between Morgan and Crabtree, and Morgan won that one. Morgan brings the ball down across half court. Takes it to her left and dishes off to over to Gillen. She stops. She shoots. No. And Henneman with the rebound. To Crabtree. Over to Frisbee. Frisbee underneath to Henneman. Henneman to Leach. Rebound Morgan. To Gillen. Underneath to Maynard. Out to Ruth. Steps. Pops it. No. Knocked in the hands of Robinette. Nobody's hitting any buckets tonight, as we can tell by the low score in this first period. Robinette to Henneman. To Frisbee. To Robinette. Underneath to Henneman. She turns. Back out to Robinette from 3. No. Leach, no. Henneman. And knocked away. And foul on Gillen, her third. Gillen out, Davis in. Underneath to Leach, no. Morgan, or Ruth to Morgan. Brings it down to Davis. Back out to Morgan. To Ruth. To Davis. No. Spurlock with the rebound. Jump ball. Wellston's ball on the jump. Robinette. Over to Crabtree. Cross to Leach. Back to Robinette. Cross to Frisbee from 3. No. Morgan with the rebound. Brings it back down the floor. Crosses half court. Takes it to the middle. Puts it up. In and out. Henneman with the rebound to Crabtree. To Robinette. Crosses half court. Picked up there by Davis. Davis working Robinette. Stole by Ruth. She's all by herself going in for the layup. And she gets it. Ruth with a good steal. Ball's in to Robinette. And Spurlock to Davis. To Morgan from 3. No. And a tie-up between Hinman and Maynard, and O'Keel comes out with a possession arrow. 15-13 with 5 minutes. That's the first score. In 3 minutes, Ruth from 3. No. Maynard. No. Spurlock. No. And in the hands of Maynard. No. And Spurlock. She puts it up. No. And Leach comes out with it. Robinette to Frisbee. To Robinette. 10-second call. Timeout Wellston. By 2 as we come back after the timeout. Ball's into Morgan. Morgan to Ruth. And she overshoots Maynard. Wellston's ball on the giveaway. Robinette to Crabtree, to Leach, to Crabtree, to Robinette, to Crabtree, to Leach. And she gets it to roll in. Tie ball game again. 15-all, 4:11 to go in this third period. Morgan crosses half court. Gives it off to Ruth. Ruth pops it. Yes, she gets her 3. Ruth with a 3. 18-15. Putting pressure on Wellston again. And Henneman. Now Crabtree. No. Rebound Spurlock. Push on Crabtree. Her first, team first. Both teams with foul apiece. Sharp in, Morgan out. Ruth, the ball handler, brings it over to Davis. Davis to Ruth, to Sharp. She steps up from 3 and misses, gets the bottom of the net. Wellston's ball. Ball's in to Henneman, back to Leach, back to Robinette, over to Leach, over to Crabtree, over to Leach. Takes it to the middle, over to Henneman. Blocked by Maynard, knocked back by Henneman. She gets a rebound. Underneath to Leach, she turns, and she gets the bucket, and a foul on someone there. Fouls on Sharp, or be O'Keel's second team foul. Leach to go to the line, try to make a 3-point play. Lady Oaks up by 1 right now, 18-17. This could tie the ball game again with 3:19 to go. In and out, rebound Spurlock. Break for the Lady Oaks. Ruth brings the ball down. Takes it down, over to Davis, back to Ruth, over to Sharp, back to Ruth, over to Davis, back to Ruth, back to Sharp, back to Ruth. From 3, no. Leach with the rebound. To Robinette. To Leach. Cross to Frisbee. Underneath to Henneman. She turns. Blocked by Maynard. Over to Ruth. Ruth crosses, gives to Davis. Davis takes around, back out to Ruth. Ruth Ruth to Sharp. Sharp to Davis from 3. No. And Maynard with the rebound over to Ruth. Ruth to Sharp to Davis. Looks. Back out to Sharp. Back to Ruth. Back to Davis. Outside again. And she gets it. They're calling it a 2. Davis with a 2. Puts the Lady Oaks up by 3. Leach. And she drug her foot, but they didn't catch it. Crabtree from 3. Missed everything. O'Kill's ball on there. Morgan and Gillen in. Ruth and Spurlock out. 1:43 to go in this third period play. Lady Oaks up by 3. Into Morgan. King waiting to pick up Morgan. Morgan takes it around her, gives to Davis. Davis to Morgan. To Davis. To Morgan. And there's a trip on King. To Davis. Give off to Morgan. King working Morgan. Over to Davis. Underneath to Maynard. She turns. No. Leach bats it around, comes up with it. Robinette with the ball now. Davis on Robinette. Robinette takes it to the middle, pops it. No. Rebound Maynard. Over to Morgan. Morgan brings it down the floor. Takes it around. Puts it up, blocked by Leach. King picks it up. And it's anybody's guess. And lost by King. O'Kill's ball. King was trying to go coast to coast and had too much speed and couldn't hold it. King waiting to pick up Morgan. To Davis. To Morgan. To Davis. To Morgan. Morgan backs it out, takes it around to her left, over to Sharp. Sharp brings it to the middle, to Davis. Davis fires. Falls good for 2. 22-17. Lady Oaks up by 5. Robinette with the ball. Stopped. Give to Henneman. Over to Leach. Leach stopped. Brings it out to King. Over to Robinette from 3. No. Rebound Sharp. Tie up. Wellston's ball on the possession. 12.8 seconds. Lady Oaks up by 5. Biggest lead they've had yet in this ball game. And the ball's back into Robinette's hands. No. Henneman, and a foul's going to be called on Gillen, her 4th. Team 3rd. 7.5 seconds. Henneman on the line to shoot 2. Off the back of the arm. Second one falls good. 4-point ball game for the Lady Oaks. Counting them down, 5 seconds. And Davis. No. That's the end of the third period of play. It's 22-18 for the Lady Oaks. 4-point lead for the Lady Oaks. We'll be back in the 8 minutes of this ball game. So O'Kill's ball on the possession. Into Morgan. Morgan brings it over to Ruth. To Spurlock. She dribbles underneath. No. Too soft. Robinette with the ball. Robinette to Leach. Knocked away. Leach ends up with it. Underneath. Knocked away by Maynard. Frisbee ends up with it to Leach. She gets 2 to start this period. Lady Oaks up by 2 yet. 7:26 to go in this period. To Ruth. To Morgan. to Davis. She pops it, bounces in and out, picked up by Leach. Nobody there rebounding to Robinette. Davis picks her up to Leach, to Frisbee. Underneath the Leach, she turns. No. That should have been an over the back, but it was called jump ball, Oak Hill. No, Wellston's ball. Timeout, Oak Hill. And as we're back to start after the timeout, Wellston's ball into Frisbee, back to Robinette, back to Frisbee, back to Robinette. Robinette to Frisbee, she shoots, no, picked up by Ruth, to Morgan. Morgan brings it down the floor. Wellston setting their defense. Over to Davis. Davis takes it and runs with it. Over to Spurlock. Spurlock to Davis. Davis to Morgan. Little shove there. Ref didn't see. Morgan's to Ruth. Ruth from three. No. Rebound, Henneman. And the ball's thrown in front of Crabtree. Over to Leach. Leach shoots it. Gets two. Tie ball game. Leach, a leading scorer for Wellston. Probably leading scorer for everybody. And Davis to Morgan. She takes it to the middle. She pops it. Nope. And 5. Robinette called with the foul. Third team foul for everybody. Oak Hill's ball out underneath. Sharp in, Ruth out. Tie ball game with 5:53 to go here. Low scoring ball game. The only statistics here is a lot of shooting and not too many baskets. Morgan to Maynard to Ruth, or Sharp to Morgan from three. No, wrong bounce. And Henneman come up with it. Goes over to Robinette. Robinette drives it around, back out to Frisbee to Leach. Leach to Frisbee. To Leach. She takes it over to Frisbee. Frisbee shoots. In and out. Rebound Davis. And we're still tied at 22 all with 5:24. To Davis. Underneath to Maynard. Knocked around to Spurlock. Underneath. No. Too light. Gets her own rebound. Yes! She gets two. Puts Lady Oaks back up by 2. And there's a walk. And good call there. Got in the middle of traffic and pulled her feet. Oak Hill's ball on the turnover. 5 minutes to go here in this third period. And to Morgan. Morgan looks around, over to Sharp, to Spurlock. Spurlock brings it to the middle, off her foot. To Leach. Wellston picked up the loose ball. Robinette. She takes it to the middle, nobody there. Too high. And a foul called on Maynard. Robinette will go to the line and shoot 2. Oak Hill's 4th team foul. Timeout, Oak Hill. We'll be back in probably 20 seconds. On the line to shoot 2. She could tie this ball game up again. We've been tied up 4 or 5 times tonight. First shot's up. Rolls good for her. The second shot rolls good. Tie ball game. 24 all. 4:40 to go here in this fourth period. To Davis. And a foul. 44. Ref giving the coach a warning. 4th team foul on Wellston. Into Morgan. Morgan to Ruth. To Morgan. To Ruth. To Spurlock. Spurlock shoots it. Yes, she gets 2. 26. We've scored as many in this half as we did the first half so far. And Frisbee from long distance, no, picked up by Ruth to Morgan. 4 minutes to go in this fourth period. Morgan over to Sharp. Sharp to Spurlock. To Sharp. To Maynard underneath. Turns. Nope. And picked up by Crabtree. Robinette crosses half court. Over to Crabtree. And a foul on Ruth. Slap on the arm there. Oak Hill's 15 foul. Into Crabtree, to Robinette, to Crabtree, to Frisbee, to Robinette, underneath to Henneman, no. Henneman gets her own rebound, knocked away by Morgan. Clock counting down, Lady Oaks working the ball. Over to Ruth. Ruth steps up, back to Morgan. To Ruth, to Spurlock, from three. Yes! 29-24, 5-point lead again. Robinette, steal by Sharp, but it's out of bounds. Couldn't get it back in. Good defensive plays by the Lady Oaks here tonight. Timeout Wellston with 2:54 to go. It's 29-24. Lady Oaks up by 5. Well, as we come back after the timeout, Wellston's ball after the timeout. Into Crabtree, to Robinette, to Henneman. Henneman to Leach. No, yeah, it fell for her. Lady Oaks still up by 3. Morgan crosses half court. Give off to Sharp. Sharp to Morgan. To Ruth. To Spurlock. To Ruth. To Spurlock. Way out to Morgan. Well, we're just going to stand here and hold the ball. If we can hold the ball for 2 minutes. We're counting down. Down to 2. Ruth. To Spurlock. To Morgan. To Sharp. To Spurlock. To Ruth. To Sharp. To Morgan. To Ruth. To Spurlock. To Morgan. To Sharp. To Spurlock. To Ruth. To Sharp. To Morgan. To Ruth. And foul's called on 10, Crabtree. Well, ladies used about a minute off the clock. Timeout, Oak Hill. And as we're back after the timeout. Over to Maynard, underneath, and good. Lob pass to Maynard, and good. Lady Oaks up by 5 with almost a minute to go. Over to Frisbee. Frisbee back out to Robinette. Over to King. Underneath the Leach. To Henneman. To Frisbee. To Henneman. Underneath the Leach. She turns. She gets 2. Timeout Wellston. 55 seconds. It's 28-31. Lady Oaks up by 3.
This isn't where I live.
And as we come back after the timeout, into Morgan. 5 with the foul. Robinette with her foul. Oak Hill will be the ball out. That's 16 foul on Wellston. In the Spurlock. And another foul on Frisbee. Spurlock will go to the line and shoot the one and bonus. 49 seconds left in this ball game. Spurlock on the line, shoot the one and bonus. Lady Oaks up by 3. She puts her first one up. Falls good for her. Lady Oaks up by 4 with 49 seconds to go. We got 3 back for the Lady Oaks. Ruth, Morgan, and Maynard back. Sharp underneath. And Spurlock's second one's good. Robinette with the ball. Back to Frisbee. Clock's counting down to Crabtree. Underneath to Henneman. To Leach. To Crabtree from 3. Bounces off. No. And over the back on 44 Leach. And let's see who's going to be on the line. Spurlock will be back on the line. With 33 seconds, Lady Oaks up by 5. Spurlock trying to make it 6. Yes. Spurlock 3 for 3 from the line so far. And no. Rebound Sharp. And there she gets her own. And Spurlock over to Morgan. And a foul on Frisbee. And Morgan will go to the line. Morgan steps to the line to shoot the 1 and 1. 34-28. 24 seconds. And there's the first one good. These will be the fouls that shuts the Rockets' engines off. And her second one. Unless something drastic happens, the Lady Oaks is going to wrap this one up. 36 points here in this ball game. Robinette with 3. No. And they let it go out. 13.1 seconds left. Lady Oaks get it in. They can wrap this ball game up. Only thing they got to do is hold it. Get it across the half court and hold it. Everybody backs up. Takes her time. We're down to 8. And she stops over to Spurlock. And she holds it. And that's the end of this ball game. 36-28. The Lady Oaks won by 8 points. And this is Dale Gillen along with Jim Phillips wanting to invite you down to South Point Monday night when we would take on South Point at a 6 o'clock game. So we'll see you there. Y'all have a good weekend.